All right, it is time for pre-market prep at the close.
Three consecutive highs, opened, matched yesterday's low, and then once it took out there, that's all the breakout momentum traders needed.
Joel, it's a party.
What's going on? Happy St. Patrick's Day.
I got 2 words for you.
Pump and pow, baby. You know what?
Yeah.
Pump and pow
Yep.
is making Helicopter Ben look like a test pilot. Holy mackerel. Well, let's recap things here, folks. A little bit of selling this morning. I don't know why.
Show us your charts. Oh,
that's right. I got to show you the charts. What you got there, Suspense?
I got some Powell juice. Pump and Powell juice.
Oh, man. Spencer, you wore a red shirt today, and the market didn't go down. So
it was a test. I was testing Uncle Jerome, and he passed the test.
He is amazing. Pump and Powell. He got us going. We sold off a little bit this morning, took out the pre-market low, and then we turned around right after 2 o'clock. You could see this big old bar here. And we made a new all-time high, folks. Last number on my sheet was 3970.75. That was Tuesday's high. That was the all-time high. We caught a couple kids jumping in the pool there above 70.75, went to 73.50, and now we're 10 handles off that high. So just a little profit taking up there. Still a good area, still a good number moving forward. Crude, that's a buck off its low. That's down 16 cents. It's 64.64. Powell's pumping gold. Gold's up $16. It's 1746.80. I'm glad I didn't get shaken out there under 1700. Silver, that's up 55 cents or 2.14% at 25.56.5. And you're buying, you got to buy Bitcoin here, up $2,140 at 58,050. So up and away, Spencer.
Oh my gosh, Joel! I was just confessing to the audience that I am horrid at interpreting this stuff, but I guess the best I can interpret it, Powell said, "Hey," and the FOMC said, "Hey, markets economy's getting better, getting hotter. Inflation, we don't really quite see it yet, but we think it's coming, and we're not going to change interest rates anytime soon."
Well, Jerome called me during the show this morning. I told him not to call between 8 and 9. I told him that.
I know you did.
And so I called him back.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, no matter what you do with rates, buddy, people are not pulling money out of the market. I mean, that's just plain and simple. But hey, he doesn't care about inflation. What people have to understand about inflation is that there's inflation in stocks too. There's inflation in assets. There's inflation in NTFs. There's inflation in
NFTs. But
those two.
Those two, exactly.
Exactly. I mean, that's just it. I mean, that's the way the market is. People are not pulling the money out of that, out of the market for these poultry rates. Let's see what the bonds. I didn't even look at the bonds. What are they doing here? At US is the 30-year bond. I mean, they might just need to get rid of that thing. New low for the move there. That's the 30-year T-bond traded at the Chicago Board of Trade, and then the equivalent of that is TILT, TLT, and boom, man. And if you guys think, hey, that this is a big decline from 180 to 135, I mean, a lot lower prices could be seen here in these bond market. But what do the folks want to talk about?
Well, they're talking about Alibaba, which is an interesting chart now. We talked about it this morning. This is the bad news never ends kind of thing. But hey, forget company news, forget China, forget regulation. Low interest rates means buy everything.
The Bobster. We talked about the setup here. And I don't know. I don't know if he was ready to strike just yet, but we talked about that 230 area. And boy, how often? I mean, I think Baba for like a, as high price stock as it is, I think it's pretty true to the technicals. I mean, look at this. You had 3 lows at the 225 area, 226, and then you had this low right here at 226.53. That was a nice setup. Wish I would have been keeping a little bit closer eye on it, but I liked it. You didn't come down and test the move. I like this chart here in the Bobster. Looking good. I do not think that has struck on it yet. Your resistance, I don't really see anything up. If you're going for a little bit of a swing trade here, maybe 241, 242. Got 2 highs, 41.33, 41.72. That's as if you're a short-term, trader and you picked it up here at 230. So that's what I'm looking at in Alibaba.
Congrats, Doc and Dave. Said he was down 16K at the open. He's up to up 10K now. What a reversal!
Hey,
Jerome.
Hey. All right, well, just don't give it back here. Spencer, you are having a good. I should have come into the office today, man. You are having a good time there. But we just got to bounce. S&P's up 16 handles at 68.75. The reason I'm like hesitant to say that like this is the top is that we haven't traded our 9-day average trading range. So if we get up to now bite your tongue here, 9-day average trading range would take you closer up to 39.90. But maybe we'll save that for
and the high of the day was 39.73.50, right?
Yeah. So I mean, who knows? Who knows what will happen? Will happen tomorrow? But there it is. Good day in the market.
So I guess that's the question, right? That's the question. Is this a pop that gets faded tomorrow? No. Okay, you said it.
Why?
I asked it. You said it.
No, the fade of fade. I mean, we'll see. I mean, if this is 2 highs in the same area, definitely has some significant. But boom, until it's taken out, then it is resistance. So there are a pair of highs in the same area. The rate conversation has helped the Facebook breakout.
It helped everything break out. Facebook is at not anymore, but it was just at a high of the day. And
no, I just think that
look at that. Look at where Facebook is at on the daily. That's interesting.
That's a nice. Oh boy, was that on earnings? I wonder what that day was. That was a bad day. Look at that. This is a great eye there, Spencer.
Now the 27th.
Was that an earnings day?
On the 27th? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Wow. And look at that. You have that other pesky high up there too at 287.63. This high, what was this one? 286.78. Didn't quite get up there today, but I'd keep an eye on that because the last, few times it went up there, it didn't hold, really caught a cold and came down. But who knows? Knocking on the door here. We did have this crazy consolidation here, and this was weird. I remember looking at this. It broke out the top. What was rare here is that after it broke out of the top of that, 2-3 week trading range, came back down within it, gave you a chance to get in on the cheap. So nice looking chart there. Let's see if the move can continue here in Facebook.
Maybe we should pour one out for maybe for the banks. or
pour one out. Is that like your millennial term or something?
Pour one out, like
a drink.
Yeah. Pour one out means oh my god, I'm struggling to explain what that saying means. Show them some love. I'll
tell you right now, JP Morgan. This is looking a little toppy to me. I mean, I'm not calling a top, but I'm calling the top here. 57.63, 56.92, 56.88 today. 3 highs in that same area. 3 monthly highs here, but this isn't a monthly. You know what I would do on this one if I was long as JP Morgan? I would look at this, not today's low, but I would keep an eye on that 2-day low. Give yourself some room. You're at 155. Maybe if it takes out 152.18, it's a buck below yesterday's low. So keep an eye on that. Just don't like to see 3 highs in the same area. Could be Jamie Dimon getting out of some stock. Bank America, new multi-year high. Pulling back, so that 38. 38 is pesky. Did get to 38 today. Let's see here. And also on these folks, if you're on these banks and you're getting a little cabin fever up here. Man, keep your eye on the high close for the move. That was 37.94 back on last Friday, and you have surpassed it, but you haven't closed above it. So I'd be keeping a close eye on these banks here. Just the fact that it's had a new all-time high, not posting a new all-time closing high. That's what I like to see.
Yeah, pouring out just means, for your buddy who's not with us anymore, for your friend who's not there. Cheers to the friend who's not there is basically what. It's
kind of sad, Spencer.
Well, I mean, it's the banks, right? That's what I meant by that comment. Anyway, I can't wait to hear from Dennis tomorrow. I'm sure he's having
yeah, this is probably a good hour. I wonder if he got down and dirty in this. Let's see. What do we got here? We got 19 or 20 minutes left. Do we want to cover some stuff from this morning?
Yes.
I want to. What do you want to cover?
Can we start with Lennar, please? Did you see that thing today? Because holy moly.
Oh, wow.
I know.
Wow, that's ripping. That's a breakout.
I know.
I mean, if you're trading this thing and you're short over 95, then you need to stay after school, because there's no way that once this thing took out 95, 4 highs in the same, 3 highs in the same area. You had that big seller there. I don't know where it opened up. I mean, it kind of jogged around in the pre-market.
87. I don't know. I'm just
88.50 took out yesterday's low. People were looking the other way, but man, once it came back up through that open, that was a heatless trade. And then I think when it blew through 95, whoever was short, scrambling for cover, traded over triple digits. This has never been over triple digits before. This is a huge move for Lennar. So if you have a target in this area, I'd encourage you to take it. But this I'd say this is out like 42 standard deviations here for this move here for Lennar. And is it boosting the other home builders? Because I know a lot of them have already reported.
It's a great question. They trade together. KBA looking good. Oh, brother, looking good.
Yeah. Well, also good news on the interest rate, right? Ben's true. Right.
Also true. What the other one? And was it
Hovanian? Wait a second. Hovanian is a triple digit stock?
No. They did a
reverse split.
They did a reverse split. I know. The only reason I know that is because
your mom owns it.
No. That's but my dad had a portfolio for me. They started years ago, and my dad bought this stock in my portfolio, and so I owned this thing for years, and I got rid of it like a couple years ago because I was like, Dad, what did you do? Why did you give me this stock?
What was the other one that your dad was stuck in?
He made his money back. I don't remember what it was.
What was that one?
I don't remember.
Was it a crypto or no?
No, it was a biotech. But I owned this. That my dad bought for me when I was like in junior high or something, and stuck it in my portfolio for 10 years, and then I sold or whatever, and I sold it. But that's the only reason I know that there was a reverse split. It's not.
Can we get your dad on the show sometime? We'll have him come on and talk about doctor.
Sure. No. Wait, what's the NVR? Is what I was thinking of. NVR is the other home builder that I was.
NVR.
Yeah.
NVR.
Isn't that?
That's a $4,000 stock.
Wait, I'm not crazy.
What is this? Right? Get that off my screen.
I'm not crazy.
$4,000 stock. Who trades a $4,000 stock? No one trades a $4,000 stock. Split your stock.
I'm just thinking of the largest home builder stocks, and KB Homes, Toll Brothers, and NVR.
Toll. We didn't look at Toll.
In addition to Lennar. That's the point.
This one a little bit of a laggard. Didn't bust out, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with this. Trying to get up to that all-time high. I believe they already reported, though.
They all should have already reported by now. It's pretty late in the season. Joel, what about Uber here?
Uber Eats.
We're talking about Uber this morning. Actually, I don't even remember if we got to Uber this morning.
We did not.
We didn't even. It was on the list. We didn't even cover it.
Yeah, what that something about the driver designation or something?
Yeah, I mean, Uber got a pop thanks to the Fed, just like everyone else did. But yeah, it was they're reclassifying their UK drivers. I think just Uber drivers, not Uber Eats drivers, is how I understand it. And this was like a lawsuit that's been going back and forth for years. It's not over yet. But yeah, they basically have to just provide benefits. It's basically just a win for the drivers. They have to provide benefits and that sort of thing to their drivers.
Oh, under 39.60 here. I guess we'd have some major resistance up in that 39.70 handle. Would it be great to come back to unchanged here on the day? That would be like, okay, nothing happened today. Uber, this is what sticks out in my mind about Uber is that, you see where this arrow is here? That was earnings day. Made a new all-time high and then kind of STB. And it had a big decline to under 52, came back to 60, and then, flirted with it for a couple days. So this is what the big money thought about the stock after the report, beat it up, and then it came back down. Bad news again. Lower high here on the move, so that's not a good sign. I guess if you want to look at, let's see if this comes back in. Where did we go? We went 50, 60 to 61. Let's call it 10-point move halfway back, 56. So better hold in here. Next daily low to keep an eye on, 54.72. That was your March 9th low.
Joel, what about this buy the dip in Plug Power?
Did it happen?
This thing was down 25%. Just about overnight / this morning, and it's almost hit $40 again today.
How low did it get?
32.80.
32.8. It did get to 32. Are you sure?
That's what I'm seeing.
32.80, but that was in the pre-market.
Yes. That was at like 7 a.m. 6:05, whatever. Yep. Yeah. Oh, you mean during the regular session, it only got to like 30, 35? 35.
Yeah. This is one of those instances where, where the pre-market, I don't know why I put that up there. Hold on. What were we just talking about?
Plug Power.
Plug. Yeah. This is one of those instances where you just, you get overdone in the pre-market and you can use that. Now, if you were looking at this and you're short, you're thinking, man, I'm going to bring this in at 33. You found out pretty quickly, you had the higher open and came down to 35. Did we have any? Oh, look at this. Didn't even get to that low. Yeah, 33.25. See, that's weird. When I see 33.26 to 37.60, I just say, hey, split it. Maybe we'll stop around 35, but wasn't in active in that. So Nola Trader here is calling me out.
I knew that was coming.
You know what? What does this guy want? He complains all morning in the show. Okay. He's complaining now. I mean, I talk about a stock that closes, trades up to 212 in the pre-market, then trades down to 191 and change in the regular session. And I'm sorry, Nola Trader, I didn't predict that it was going to come all the way back to 210.
Wait,
you know what? Maybe you should start doing your own pre-market show.
Joe,
and I can listen to you and I can point out everything that you do. I mean, give me a break. Man,
I think we should have couched everything that was said this morning with, oh, by the way, everything we say could be undone by Jerome Powell, which is essentially what happened here today.
God, I give a guy a level and whatever. I mean, whatever. No stocks for Nola Trader.
Oh man,
I'm out.
All right. No, come on. Look, you have said all. You have said all. All right, let's do some more tickers from chat, and then we'll just wrap it up here for the day. And then Mitch and I are going to hang out after the close. We'll watch the news as it comes in, and we'll do Cannabis Insider at 4:30. What about? All right, we've gotten asked a couple times about this one, AVEO, smaller cap. What kind of volume does this thing have?
AVEO. AVEO?
Yeah, not a heavily traded stock.
Sounds like a stock. It sounds like a kid's game or something, isn't it? Is this what you want? AVEO?
Small cap.
Yeah. Wow.
Low flow, small cap. These are harder, guys. These are harder. He asked for a level if you have one, but these are finicky. These things can blow levels out of the water. So
yeah, with this one, I mean, it's after the fact, Jack. They must have had some good news, right, on this day, and the good news was sold. When you see a green bar like this, and then you see a red bar like this, and where did it settle that day? The day that it got to 1824, it settled at 1157. I mean, you just don't go big green bar, red bar, big green bar, especially in a stock that had some news on it. So this is coming down. Do I think it's going down to $8? No. Did it get a little bit overdone when it went to 18? So maybe, I don't know how this thing is usually pretty quiet. So I think you'll have to wait for like a quiet period where to settle down, because right now you're kind of hitting a moving target. I would just keep an eye on these closes. You had that. It's interesting because it was a tricky day after you went up to that 1824 because you closed higher on the day at 1244. But that was resistance the next day. So just keep your eye on your closes. I'd say 11.15, approximately where we're trading the close from yesterday. 11.41, that high from today, 11.52. Another leg down here in the S&Ps. I said we're going back to unchanged, and it looks like we're going back to unchanged here. That would be 52.75. Your old-time closing high, that was made on Monday at 58.25. That's right where we're trading right now.
A couple more interesting charts here. Let's look at Jinko Solar. This one is interesting. This one had a nice bounce off of 40 and it broke through the floor of that range that it was in for what is that?
Back and fill.
Months.
Yeah, this is just this is backing and filling here to see if this moves for real. Let's call it 38 to 50, 12-point move. You're coming in at 44. If you're long this Jinko Solar, you want to see it hang out here at 44, put a little couple lows in, maybe an inside day, and then continue the jaunt higher and get over 50. If in fact it can't hold this 44 and a quarter area, did trade down to 42.21 today, then you have a chance of testing the low of the move. And what is there? What was that solar stock that Dennis bought the other day? Was it First Solar? Or there was some other one he bought? No, he bought some solar stock. What? I think it was this one. This one's holding up pretty well. First Solar. I can't remember what it was.
What was then? And there was another solar stock too that was ripping that I hadn't heard of before. A couple of days ago. I know. Mitch knows it. Mitch knows it. Was it?
Were we talking iSun?
That's the one.
iSun W.
iSun.
SOL.
ISUN. That was the one that was ripping.
What is it? Is that okay? That's a good name for a solar stock.
iSun. Yeah, I hadn't heard of it before the other day. But I guess they had earnings on Monday, and I don't remember what Dennis bought.
Was it First Solar?
Yeah, the Echo is saying it was First Solar, and so was Damith. I always look at these in context of the TAN ETF.
Yeah, I know you're a big ETF guy.
Yep. What about this? I love me a good gap fill. What about Molson Coors TAP? I love me. I've not looked at this one in months. I love me a good gap fill.
Oh, there it is. There you go. I mean, if this is interesting because people got caught here. You had all those lows just above 48. You come up and fill the gap. I don't know. I don't know if this move is over yet. And the reason I'd say that, I think you might get closer to 50 on this leg. I'm not really sticking, any major prediction out here, but that's about halfway back, 56 to 44, right? Right, 12-point move, add 6, boom, 50. So there's another target. S&P's slipping a little bit more here, folks, heading back towards unchanged.
Just to give everyone a quick preview of the earnings slate for tonight, not much. We've got Five Below. We've got Sundial. I know a lot of you love Sundial. We've got Ride. Did Ride ever respond to that short report, or maybe they'll respond?
They did. I can't remember. Oh, right. No, I got it.
Yeah. They did a week ago.
Yeah, I don't know about these things. Do I want to be long going into the report? I don't know. It seems like if these short sellers, and the way this is just my observations, if they hit them on the report and they don't bounce back in a day or two, then they kind of get them. Like Cloverleaf, they got it. They got sacked on the short report, hard to recover. So that's the way I look at it. Unless they can really, do a quick about face, then it's really hard for them to rebound.
Yep. And this is a question that RAG put in there. He asked if you could look at a UK stock. A lot of overseas stocks, if they don't have ADRs,
can I?
Well, I mean, in this case, I don't really know how liquid So in this case, the company is Avon. They do have OTC shares. I think it's AVNBF, but a lot of these things again are not super liquid at all. So you're really not getting an accurate measure.
Yeah.
They'll reflect the trading in the primary market, which in this case is London, but it's not a liquid market. You're not getting a real accurate measure of the trading in the primary market in the US. So the
day's done. By the time you're getting information, day's done. And that's why when we talked about Nokia, and the Reddit guys were trying to get it, and it's just they did get it that one day.
Yep.
I hope they sold on that day. They did get it, but Dennis made a great observation about this. Yep. Is that, and these guys, they did their homework because they jammed it after Europe closed. So there was less liquidity on that day. I mean, you can look up that move, the time of that move, and then they woke up and they're like, oh my God, it's $9. And they got out and they just started selling here on the US market and say, hey, we'll buy it back tomorrow on our own exchange.
Yep. That's exactly what happened. What else here? As we head into the close, Joel is right. We are nicely off the high, but still well above where we were. You pull up the futures for us, well above where we were.
Yeah.
At 1:59 Eastern time this morning.
Yeah, so you could feel that break this morning. I had a small short on, and I'm just like, oh well, it's 6 points my way. Oh no, I'm even on it. Oh no, it's 4 points by it. There was that real consistent buying. I wish I would have had something at 39 and a quarter. I had absolutely nothing there. Kind of was hoping for Monday's low 39.13, but they're laughing at me on that one. But we are poised here, 3 minutes to go in the session, to post a new all-time closing high, folks. I like that. The highs and lows are important, but where you're marked is the most important thing. Actually, the last after-hours print, that's something I also note, last night was 57.75. So all this...
So basically today was a wash.
It's a wash.
Today was
and I could say the broker made a lot of commissions, but it's commission-free trading, so I don't know.
So somebody asked a great question on the last show, on the first trade show. If you own a partial share, do you get the dividend? The answer is yes, but you just get partial dividends. So if you own the rest of one share, you get less than one dividend per share, right? So whatever the divvy is, you get a fraction. But I thought that was a great question. So I just wanted to answer that on the
Boeing.
How are we doing?
Interesting chart here. I remember banging the table. Remember when we did that game when I smoked you guys? What was that, last Thursday?
Yeah.
Around the bell?
Yep.
I mean, I didn't even think it was that close. I don't know who was judging, but I thought I blew you guys out of the water.
Okay.
But last Thursday,
each their own.
Was trading at. You were actually pretty good, Spencer. You actually, I did catch the part where you were making fun of me. I did. Because someone asked you about a stock and you gave like a bunch of exact levels. You're like, it's going to trade up to 192.48, and it's going. I caught it, Spencer. Don't think I didn't. I caught you making fun of me.
All right,
but that's okay. That's okay. I got thick skin. Been in the markets. Okay, so Thursday this closed at 252 even, and I said there's no doubt that this thing is going to trade 268. Now, if you use that at a target, you might have been swearing at me when it went to 278.57. But now it's back under that area. So what you got to do for Boeing here, hopefully they don't have any bad news overnight, is you got a 10-point bounce off that 54 area. So I think you're okay. I would like to see what happens. 54 is a nice cushion. Of course, news can always move things. The high of the move was not made on the day it made the 78.57 high. What I'd like to see over the next couple of days is it improve on that 69.19 close from March 12th.
All right, 5 seconds left, Joel. In
5 seconds.
In today's session, we are just about done. Final tally for the day as I'm speaking. SPY, or let's just go to the index.
Nice.
SPX closes up 0.29%. The Nasdaq closes up 0.38%, and the Russell closes up 0.73%. All three indexes were down several hours ago. All three came out. Let's just do the Dow Jones. Why not?
Dow Jones.
We're not total snobs here. Dow Jones closed up about 0.5%. All four indexes were down. All four staged a comeback. Thank you very much, Pump and Powell.
Yeah. And I hope I didn't scare Noel the Trader off. Noel the Trader, come back. I was just giving you a hard time. I think I hurt his feelings. So
final tally for the day: we are green in about 60% of S&P 500 stocks.
It's a good day.
Green today, about 37% in the red. Your leader this today, as far as sectors, was the consumer discretionary sector. Industrials was up 1%, just as the discretionaries were. Materials were up. Utilities were down. And yeah, that was pretty much it. So we were
all right.
Way more
good day.
Good day. It was
okay. All right. No, the Trader came back. All's good. So I'm gonna sign off here before I offend anybody else.
Joel, we had a good day. I'm excited for tomorrow. We got day one of the tourney, at least the first four.
Oh yeah.
Day.
I haven't done any brackets yet. I'm too nervous to do any brackets. I'm gonna have to focus on that. I might not be on the show tomorrow morning. I may be doing my brackets.
All right. Smash the like. It says it right there for Joel. And Joel, we'll see you tomorrow, man.
Okay, adios, amigos.
All right. It's 4:00, which means we got some news flow coming in hot here on Benzinga Pro. Let's share my screen and let's bring Mitch on and let's talk about the news as it's coming in. Okay. What do I see here? Okay, YVR. I saw that mentioned in chat a few times. YVR is one of the. There's like a half dozen or so stocks that can be classified as quote unquote non-fungible token plays. YVR is one of them. We had a list up before on Benzinga Pro. I didn't copy it because you got to get in Benzinga Pro to get that list. But all right, here we go. Lordstown Motors is out with their earnings report. Q4 earnings per share, they lost $1.04 per share last quarter. Headline is gone. Let's go to the chart here and see what is going on with RIDE. Mitch, how was your day today, man? I saw you streaming the JPAL conference.
Yeah, pump and pal, doing what he usually does best. Pump up.
Pump the markets. Yeah, you missed the start of our stream here. I polished off the last of the very, very last of our Bacardi, and then there's a little bit of bourbon that I also.
Well, my friend, I didn't come empty-handed.
That's what I'm talking about.
Woodford Reserve, baby.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, back to ride. So let's see if we can get. There we go. It's a little bit better. I got rid of the VWAP. Whoever suggested that, sorry, he was just getting in the way. It was too distracting for me. Kept the RSI up so we can have some idea of what the relative strength index says. And let's go back to the news feed, see what's going on with RIDE. RIDE. Okay. I'm sorry. It looks like there was an adjustment there. EPS 23-cent loss versus a 10-cent loss a year ago. They see their year-end liquidity. They have going to have at least $200 million in cash and cash equivalents. Okay, so they're not going to like go broke, but I don't know what their debt is off the top of my head. I guess we can look it up, but I don't really want to do that right now. Let's see if they. Let's go to the PR feed.
See what we see. See what we got.
What's a ride in the press release / SEC feed that I have here? And come on, buddy. Come on, old buddy, work for me. I'm doing a refresh.
Well, I got a trade after this, after we get through ride. So I want to talk about something that I saw spike up in the last hour.
Here's the press release right there. Benzinga Pro.
Boom, boom. Put it full screen. I can't even see it.
You can't even see it. Okay, should I
there
see?
You go.
Yeah, it's too many words. I'm with you. I'm going to skim this thing. On cash at $630 million at year end. They exercised warrants, which resulted in some more cash. CapEx range for the year $275 million. They're entering the due diligence phase. I'm not really sure what that means. That's for a loan. Is that for a loan? Okay. They are accelerating the development of the Lordstown Motors' second vehicle, with a goal of in the second half of 2022 starting production. That's what SOP means, start of production. In the back half of next year, they're going to unveil a demo sometime this summer. Okay,
I think that's
obviously
important.
It's going to sound, the whole thing is going to sound super bullish. That's, you got to sort of look behind the flowery quotes, right, on these things.
I think because of the short report, the most focused thing is going to be, is their timing of release of the vehicle going to come out exactly when they're saying it? If you start seeing delays, then it could be that the short report was right, that they weren't even close to releasing it near that time. So I think that's what to focus on, and at least what I'm going to be focused on RIDE is, when do they release some information about when the vehicle's coming out, and will it come out exactly on that date? Spencer talking to himself,
Damn it. Sorry. I was on mute.
I got the green at least in the back. At least I don't have the green on. So,
Happy Muhammad, RIDE is out. RIDE is out. The earnings report was out at like 4:00 on the news. So
Spencer, before we get to the next earnings, one that I did see start moving up, and it's interesting. I don't know too much about this one, but I need to learn. So silver plays. I saw Gato, this GATO, Gato's silver. I don't know what this one really is, but I'm using my movers tool right now, guys, on Benzinga Pro. And one of the things that I'm doing is I'm putting it on the last hour as a scanner here, the last hour of the regular session. So I want to see what moved when Pump and Pow was really on. So to me, this Gato silver moved up like 4 or 5%. It's interesting. It's dropping now, but it did move from like 1450s to 1560s. Do you know any other major silver stocks we can take a look at to see if maybe we're seeing a move?
Well, you can go to, you know what I'm going to say. You can go to the ETF, right?
Of course.
You can go to the ETF, which is SLV. That is the iShares, whatever. Just Google it. This is what I do when I'm lazy. right? I just pull up
The power of Google, man.
First Majestic, Wheaton. Yeah.
Party City, ripping, bro.
The SLV, still the SLV. That's what I would do. First Majestic. Thank you, Blockchain Brian. Wait, Mitch, what are you saying about Party City?
It's up. It's on that scanner that I'm looking at. So
really,
yeah, it's not doing too bad.
Let's go back to the newsfeed and cover some more news as it comes in. So we had Ride. Five Below is out. Let's go.
Nice. Let's take that look.
5VE brick and mortar retail. Q4 earnings per share, they beat $2.20 versus $2.11 estimate. Sales of $858 versus $838 million. So a beat in the fourth quarter. As far as forward-looking numbers, they gave some Q1 guidance. EPS well above the estimate. Sales also well above the estimate. And if that wasn't enough, they announced that the board has approved a $100 million buyback. Give me those buybacks and give me those divvy raises. Look at Five Below. Nice. Very nice. I don't have a Borat sound on my soundboard yet.
You are the Borat.
That's it. That's it. Very nice.
Let me see how I want to be interested in, because one of the ones that could be affected with that 5 earnings is Ross Stores. So I took a look there, and you kind of see a little bit of a move up near the close, but it hasn't moved right now after hours.
Here, wait. Let's go back to 5 and let's go to the Peers tab. Let's see, anything jump out to us? Not really. Okay, back to the news feed. Five Below, we're done with you. We'll come back in a few minutes and see how the report holds up. Let's go to American Outdoor Brands. That's the company formerly known as Smith & Wesson, right? AOUT. And earnings just now, 82 cents is what they earned per share last quarter versus a 13-cent gain a year ago. Sales, $82 million versus a $59 million estimate. They gave some guidance. Sales guidance for the year, that was above the estimate. EPS guidance for the year, also well above the estimate. This is AOUT. Again, the company formerly known as Smith & Wesson. They've done some weird spin-offs. I think this was a spin-off of that company, or they separated the businesses, but nice pop after hours, 24.50. Let's zoom out on the daily, see what we can see. Yeah, this was a spin-off. I remember this one. So this is not like the firearm assets, right? This is everything else from that company. Okay, all-time high. This does not look like a real candle to me. I don't know what that was. That daily, that high of 30. That does not look. That looks like some sort of a cross or a fat finger or something. But I would call this an all-time high in AOBC. So there you are right now, 24.75. Let's go back to the chat and see what the chat's working on. You know what we need, Mitch, for this sort of after hours hangout?
What do we need?
Can we get some tunes?
Yeah, we got to get some back tunes or something like that.
Some tunage here, just because this is like the chillest, most relaxed part of the day. I know that Luke and Jason are also relaxed, but they're all they're like chaotic. Logan Reed confirming that AOUT is their apparel stuff and not the firearms. Confirming that I did not make that up. What about GEVO? Okay, I saw that in the newsfeed. Let's go back to the newsfeed. Let's look at GEVO earnings. To the extent that earnings per share matter in a company like this, I don't know how much they do. This company is so tiny; it's really all about growth, revenue growth. But still, though, sales $500,000 versus a $750,000 estimate. By the way, here's the headline I mentioned earlier. Oh, wait, no, it's not. That's something different. Forget that. GEVO. So the close today was 9.43. So we're down about half a buck. Fat Cat saying chat room pump. Yeah, I believe it.
All right. So an interesting one that biotech that has a huge price target today with a buy rating, Sava.
Wait a minute. After this, weren't you going to make a trade for us or something?
Yeah. Well, I was looking at silver. We didn't really get into it too much, but I was looking at silver and I'm looking at some other plays, but I'm still diamond hands in Genius. I'll tell you that at least.
We'll have to get to that in a second. we'll get there in a hot second.
I'm sure there's going to be some people interested now.
Sava had Jones Trading, which is a small research firm, put a buy rating and gave it a price target of $110.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to point out. That's a big change from where it is right now. I mean,
110?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! I'm just curious. What other ratings does Sava have? Probably not much. Yeah, that's what I thought. This is the ratings calendar in Benzinga Pro, guys. You can see all the analyst coverage. I see what you see: Maxim, HC Wainwright, Cantor, and Jones. So these are all like smaller firms. No, like if a bulge bracket bank were to come in here, like a JP Morgan, a Goldman Sachs, a Morgan Stanley, a B of A, that would carry a lot of weight. A Deutsche Bank, maybe. These are all smaller research firms. So I would just say, like, I'm not super familiar with any of these firms or their track records. That being said, a price target of $110 is notable on a stock that is trading at 62.
That's definitely for sure.
So I didn't see that this morning, but good catch, Mitch. All right, I never want to stray too far from the newsfeed because there's a ton of headlines that people like Randy are popping in there, and I feel like every time we look away, we miss more stuff. Hey guys, by the way, like Benzinga Pro, like you got to pay for this, okay? Like you guys are getting like a sneak peek, but this is stuff that people pay for. So I want to point that out. And today is St. Paddy's Day. And we've had the sale up all day. I'm going to put it in chat once again. The St. Patrick's Day sale gets you 35% off a Benzinga Pro Essential Annual Plan. This is today, tomorrow, and Friday, I believe, the rest of the week. There is the link. It is in chat. It is in the description of the video. You also get a free 2-week. You can always get a free 2-week trial. That always applies. If it's not for you, it's not for you. You know. But I just wanted to mention that. Sean Wilson says it's worth every penny. The thing about these services, right, is like all it takes is one winner for it to pay for itself. That's kind of the thing. So enough about that. Back to the newsfeed.
All right.
Wait. What is this Penn National headline?
Dun, 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 dun.
National Gaming reports approval to offer mobile online sportsbook in Virginia.
Boom, boom.
Let's go look at Penn.
Did you see the recent Michigan stats from betting?
No, I'm sure you did though.
I did.
What they say?
The interesting part of it is MGM stepping up, number 2 now
in Michigan.
Yeah, one of the things I'd say about MGM, and I use them. It's my favorite platform. Is the promos. They just give you promos left and right. They keep you like that.
Interesting. So look at this big volume bar. That big volume bar at that was the close. My bad. I thought that was after the close. Okay, I stand corrected. That's not abnormal. Still though, we're up after hours. Penn National expanding into Virginia.
Man, if you draw a trend line on the weekly on this, it is
all right. Let's do it.
It's impressive.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that trend.
And this is why I hate. Not hate. Hate's a strong word. This is why I have soured a little bit on the RSI. I used to look at RSI a lot a few years ago. And what soured me on the RSI is, so the RSI says this thing is like almost overbought, right? It's almost in overbought territory. The thing about that, though, is it could stay overbought or oversold like forever.
Yep.
Right? Like just because it crosses that 70, what is it, 30 or 70? Is that it? Yeah, it's 30 or 70. Just because it crosses 70 and the RSI indicator says, oh, it's overbought. This is why you can't really use most indicators in a vacuum, right? You have to use it in conjunction with something else. RSI by itself won't tell you a lot, right? So that's why I'm not a fan.
You know what I say about those indicators is that they're lagging. So one thing you always got to understand,
RSI is a lagging indicator for sure.
It's lagging indicators. So what I do for indicators is I use them for confirmation, not to get me the trade idea. Because if you use them to get you the trade idea, you're usually going to be late to the move. It's like using the MACD. The MACD is one that I use often, guys. And what I use it to is determine once I'm in, is the momentum going in my direction, not to determine to get me in. And that's what I use the indicators for.
Great point. Buyback from, and is it a buyback and divvy raise from Williams Sonoma? Do they have earnings? They had earnings. WSM, the catalog, Williams Sonoma catalog, which is fantastic and horrible at the same time every year. Q4 EPS, they beat. Q4 sales, they missed. A $1 billion buyback and a nice divvy raise from 53 cents a share to 59 cents a share. Let's go to WSM and take a look. Oh, that's not it. WSM, take a look at the board. Oh, that's a weekly. Holy moly. Let's go to it in 1 minute. Nice. Look at that, Mitch.
That's a nice little candle right there.
1 minute chart.
I might have to even pull this up. Let me see how it's looking.
There's a daily. There's a weekly. Let's go to the monthly. Oh my God, this is sick. This is sick. Wait, it's just a mail order like retail, right? That's what this is?
Hey, anything e-commerce, baby.
Is it even e-commerce? I guess it is. I don't. All I know is the catalog. Jeez.
Honestly, I've never even seen it. I'll be honest. I don't like it just because it's so near that resistance. So 140, if you look on the weekly,
okay,
it's rejected off 140 plenty of times.
What?
No. That hard weekly turn there, and then also on the weekly, you also see on what is the 5th on March, it also rejected from that level. I would let it. It needs some volume around probably, I would say 135. Let's see how it did today at 135.
Venus.
How is that with rejections?
Venus's logic is basically the same logic that applies to the rest of the retail market, which is, hey, it didn't go out of business. That's bullish. If you made it through last summer, bullish.
Didn't everything make it?
No.
What didn't?
JCPenney finally died.
That was already on the tombstone.
Didn't Payless die? Payless Shoe Source. There's a bunch of retailers that died last year. You can Google it. There's a whole list.
I honestly was surprised. Because I've mentioned this. If you just took a shot on some stocks in March, you probably did great. It just shows me times like when there's that blood in the street, you gotta go buying. It's not. And this is why I always say that you need cash. If you don't have cash, guys, and you don't have something to invest and you're fully invested, that's, I think, when you start getting into a little bit of trouble. I don't know, but what do you think about being fully invested sometimes, Spencer? Not that we're trying to say that that's the only way, but
I'm pretty fully invested right now.
What do you? How do you add to positions to when you get a down move? What do you do on your portfolio?
Yeah, so I dollar cost average. I guess I'm never fully invested in that sense because I'm always dollar cost averaging. But what I mean is that my portfolio has my main my taxable account, my Fidelity account has I think 9% cash, and I don't really like going below that. I don't like having less than 9% cash. I just like always having some cash. So in that sense, for me, I'm fully invested in that. In terms of my overall allocation, I don't really want to reduce my cash position right now. But I'm always adding, like I'm dollar cost averaging into stuff. So I'm always adding to more, every paycheck or whatever, I'm always adding to more positions. But that's how I do my investing. So in terms of allocation, I've got somewhere in the 8-9%, 10% cash range, and that's where I like it to be. That's just me.
All right, guys. So one more thing here. I'm looking at some Bitcoin stocks. Mara starting to set up. And with that, I'm looking at a different one, BTBT. Let's take a look here. Let me try to get a trend line drawn here for us. It's not perfect here. So let's see what it'd be kind of more of here in this area. But really, the biggest thing is this kind of more basing action that I'm seeing here. So there's a base at 16, and we just kind of ripped from that level. So one of the things that I try to do is when I see multiple supports, at least I have my out plan. So my out plan in this one would be near that 16, and I would be looking for it to get back above kind of this $20 level and get strong when it does get above that $20 level. But the biggest thing is, how far is Bitcoin going to go this year? I think it could really, really get above 100,000. So with that being said, I'm keeping my eyes on these Bitcoin stocks. What do you think about the Bitcoin stocks, Spencer?
I think I'd rather just own Bitcoin than own a Bitcoin stock, personally. Because with the Bitcoin stock, you're also, in a way, beholden to the financials of the company. But with Bitcoin, you're not. So if you want exposure to Bitcoin, why not just own Bitcoin? Why own a Mara or a Riot? That's how I feel. Can I pull up another stock that's not Bitcoin?
Let's do it, man.
This is not really my bag, but guys, BBI, okay, small biotech. Why did I bring it up though? Let's go to our news. Actually, no, forget the news feed. Let's just scroll down. Let's go to news.
Right, overview.
Go to news.
Right there.
Big insider buy. Let me zoom in. Is that easier to see? Big insider buy. Okay, the CEO bought 100,000 shares at an average price of $1.18. This is in a Form 4 filing. We don't need to go into the filing because we've seen it here right now in the news feed. Let's go back to the chart and zoom out. And heavy volume after hours. Big spike. Again, super small name, not my bag. I'm just looking for movers, and this is a mover. So I just wanted to bring it to your attention.
It's going to be an interesting one. I've paid attention to those. I mean, when we think about it, an inside buy is what got me really focused on Fubo before that move from $10. So one of the things is I don't overreact on the inside buy, but it can get it to light. So if you see those, at least pay attention to them. Maybe see the next couple of days if you really do see kind of a bottoming action. Ooh. And one of the things I look at is if the bottoming action is above that inside buy. Because if it's the bottoming actions above that inside buy, you might have that support of volume right underneath you.
Mitch, check this out. This is actually a good segue too. This is a tweet from a Politico reporter.
Hey.
The cannabis banking bill will be reintroduced in the House tomorrow.
Dun, dun, dun.
It passed the House in 2019, stalled in the Senate. They're going to reintroduce the cannabis. This is the Safe Banking Act. In
going green, baby.
On the floor of the House tomorrow. I bring that up, A, because it's notable and I'm bullish cannabis, but B, because we've got Cannabis Insider on the show next. Hey, while we're here, let's look at some cannabis stocks.
You know what? In a second, we could bring them on if they're ready. I have one that I want to ask about and how they feel.
I've got like 5.
My thing, all right, go for yours, and then I got one, but my thing is a little interesting. Mine's actually more in a property, kind of a RET. So,
Not Yoda. Okay, this is the ones. So, Not Yoda asks, what are some good U.S. cannabis stocks?
Let's do it. Spencer's the U.S. guy.
Your definition of good may be different than mine. I can tell you what I own. How about that? And then you can do your own research from there. I own the largest MSOs, the largest multi-state operators. So these are stocks that fucking hat. God damn it. It's pissing me off. I can't fit over my damn headphones. The largest multi-state operators. So what does that mean? I own, so these stocks don't trade on exchanges yet. They will trade on exchanges when the legality status changes, when cannabis becomes legalized on the federal level. So you want tickers? I'll give you tickers. I own Curaleaf, CURLF. Okay, it's Pulpit Daily. I own that. I own Green Thumb, GTBIF. Okay, I own Cresco. God, I'm actually blanking on the credit. Thank you, CRLBF. Okay, and I own Trulieve, TCNNF. Those are the 4 that I own. If I could go over and do it again, I would probably just buy this puppy, the MSOS. This is a cannabis ETF specifically for U.S. cannabis stocks. The 4 that I mentioned make up like 40%, I think, of this fund. But that's what I own personally. Mitch, you said you own one, and then let's transition and let's bring the cannabis guys on.
All right, so I don't have any of these right now, but one that I'm actually looking to actually buy is KERN, and then we talked about that one.
Yeah, we know that.
The reason I like that one is I'm an avid PAX fan. I love their vape. I think it's one of the best in the products in the business. Okay. So at the end of the day, that I'm behind the company, but really it's starting to set up. I love the bounce off $5 today. It had a really good bounce off that $5. I was looking at 550s already. So now that I've seen that $5 hold, I can start risking off that $5, and I'm going to look to try to grab that one. Now, the one that I wanted to bring up to the boys, and maybe we'll bring them on as I go ahead and kind of talk about this one.
Let's just bring them on. Patrick,
let's bring them on. Let's